Holy crap, what a day. What is up, peeps? Welcome back to more CS news and, of course, your daily recap of the CS Major. What was your favorite part? What was your least favorite part? What were you most surprised by? And what are you sipping on? And I hope you guys all enjoy, because today was kicked off with a lot of energy. And then it ended with being a long, lengthy day for some good reasons. We had a lot of back and forth series, but not so much to kick things off. It was Vitality. Yeah, they kicked things off right away against 3D Max, and they had an opening pistol round from Ropz, which was an ace, and they carried it all the way through.
Be tested in this pistol round, but he's got dual Berettas over towards the ramp. A confident start from Zywoo, who's already taken space away out in the yard. It's Ropz, though, on the chopping block. Dual Berettas, fire off, and it's all Ropz all day! That's an ace in the pistol!
Because after that, they did not look back. 13-2, a win on Nuke for Vitality. They're back. They're looking deadly, as we all expected. The best of ones are now officially out of their way, and I feel bad for whoever has to meet them next. We also had probably one of my favorite series, aside from Liquid MOUZ, of the entire day up next, that being FaZe Clan versus DMOUZ in Legacy. They're trying to get their revenge. In case you guys remember this, it was actually DMOUZ and s1mple. They've had their back and forth earlier on the stage with a lot of yelling, and that continued today.
Just swings it wide, running down the plotter. Karrigan left in the clutch, and DMOUZ denies it.
4 kills for DMOUZ. Okay, he's got a reason to shout.
And this was one of the more talkative series of the entire day. Also, the decoy meta. Both teams throwing out decoys as fake flashes. I don't know if that's been prevalent throughout this major, but throughout this game in particular, we saw it multiple times in the same round.
Really hard at the start. Rain gets the opening kill. That might be enough here. I feel like they should just keep going. I know there's dualies on the other side, but you might not get a better opportunity. Bit of a setup around the corner. It's Lige with a nice connection on that headshot. Karrigan takes down NAVI.
And even better for all you FaZe fans out there, not only do they take the win, they get the revenge on Legacy that they needed. They will have 2 chances to go through to playoffs, which was their ultimate goal. But both s1mple and Karrigan were talking. And that is because Legacy's been talking too. A lot of players and teams been talking throughout this major. But oh my God, when these guys get loud, CS is so fun to watch. And yeah, Legacy, when they're winning, it's great. And when FaZe is winning, they let it roar.
It's done by Frozen, softening them up for Lige. It's actually perfect, making the money with the Mag 10.
Well then.
There it is.
And then we had G2 versus Aurora. There's going to be some question marks around Aurora unless we see something different in their best of threes. G2 wiped the floor with them. I think a 13-4 finish. I don't even got much to show you guys from that series. It was also Mongols versus Linvision. It was Mongols surviving. They take that game late, and the series did continue. But yeah, Aurora, just like a Mongols, you know, Mongols doing a bit better, but those are the teams you're going to be watching. They are expected to be making playoffs and then have not been making deep playoff runs. Can they get past those semifinal humps? Aurora will have a lot of ground to make up. Then I take you guys to NAVI versus Spirit, which map 1 was incredible. This could have gone either way. I was hoping it was going to go Navi's way and at least force a map 3, but map 1 was incredible. Very, very enjoyable to watch. Unfortunately, NAVI fall at the very tail end of it.
Possibly need for NAVI. This is the toughest round to close out yet for Spirit.
They got to move away from this just contact con play. Can't do it 3 rounds in a row. Chopper calls them out middle. Smoke molly, Navi passive, JL. It's a deep smoke that Chopper will play in front of, but JL is aware of how he does it. Does clear that out. Gets blocked by this Molotov, but he still has time to escape. There's no punishment here from Team Spirit. Even as the AWP peeks out, they won't find Alexi. There's an entry, meanwhile, on middle still, and so Spirit have to speed up. This is all they've got.
It was Zontix and Donk on these A-main pushes that helped reignite this T-side once more. Zontix secures that opening. Ooh. Donk could get caught with the bomb out here. Zontix has to provide cover. Instead, Alexi edging past the line, knocked out by Donk. Shiro's AWP holds the line in middle. Missed shot costs him dearly. And so this is the 3rd time of asking for Spirit to take this map over the line. Their pick in this series. The one that sends you into those playoffs. And the reigning champs getting tested. Donk left up in this 1v1 clutch, a clutch to wonderful. He's lost once already. This time, he looks for his revenge, and he's gonna get it. Donk is a safe pair of hands in these clutches. And with Zontix cooking up openings, Spirit.
And then we went to train, and this series was over. It was really bad. It was utterly abysmal for NAVI as Alexi starts 0-11. I think JL was like 1-10 to start this match off, and it just was never close. 13-3 the final score there. And shocker, yes, Team Spirit will go 3-0 through, and they will 2-0 NAVI. Shocker, they're good. Great. Fan-frickin-tastic. They're good at the major.
Time when you're a player as good, as plainly above the rest as Donk, so firmly #1 in the world, you don't settle for anything less than carving out one hell of a legacy in his rookie year. World #1, major title and major MVP, achieving something that for any other GOAT contenders took them years. Looking at the likes of ZywOo, 4 years to get his major trophy. Simple, 5 for him from when he first appeared on the HLTV Top 20. It was a long route to the top, but not for Donk, not for this guy. And so Spirit, his team in great form around him, changes to how individuals play into the big picture. And Spirit taking this in stellar form.
And another team out there that was absolutely dominant, and this one puts a little smile on my face. Yakinder, the boy out there, I cannot believe the run he is making alongside Furia, and a team they played against in Virtus Pro that I would have thought was going to put up a much better fight than they did. This was one of the most lopsided best of threes of the entire day. They dominate opening map 13-3, and they take it on the T side of Train, open it up 8-4, and they did not look back. Even Fallen having some great clutch plays throughout this day and playing very, very well. Furia 2-0 Virtus Pro. It is the first Brazilian team to be through to the playoffs of a major since 2022.
Yeah, that's nice early work, but it's going to trigger Furia to pick up the bomb and make their way in and out. And there is a very vulnerable player, Molodoy. It's giving up the AK.
Really sick work from Fame. He was listening inside, and as soon as the grenade was thrown, he was ready. A fiery death for K-Serato. And 2v3, still a very dangerous round. There's only armor on one player on foot here, so you have to be very careful. More damage onto Yuri. Fallen is sneaking his way out, and with the bomb on his back, he can actually turn this game quite a bit. See if he plants for the C connector or for the other side. It kind of depends on where... Oh, he's not gonna... He's actually gonna connect with him on just walking through. This is pretty cool. They're completely dodging everything. They're gonna go into B-bomb, so they will definitely get the bomb planted. It'll be a lot harder to retake. Again, the lack of armor on two of these players just is a very big disadvantage for VP.
The game sense from Fallen to find those gaps and really give it an opportunity to save this one. Now there goes the push outside the smoke, and that's going to force Icy to get taken down, and now it's all down to Fallen. They don't know where he is around the back. The good lil from Fallen. Incredible.
And all of that, remember, Fallen is 34 years old. I believe the only older guy here is going to be FaZe Karrigan. We're going to have two oldies in the playoffs. I am loving this major so far, and hopefully there's a storyline set up there. Maybe we got a battle of the oldies, and I mean that with the utmost respect, by the way. These are two of the all-time greats. I hope you guys know that. But for Counter-Strike to be proving that there is more to this game than just shooting people. It is a mental game, and that the wisdom and experience that comes with being over 30 years old and being in so many majors and high pressure moments like Karrigan and Fallen have been, it's going to be awesome to see. So a huge props to Furia, and of course Yakinder has only been there for 2 months as a stand-in, not even 2 months with this team. It's very cool to see. The exact opposite of, though, when we're talking about experience, is what Nemiga was lacking in these later stages. They face off against Pain in elimination matchup. I would have actually favored Nemiga going into this, given, I mean, we did see a strong Pain performance in last stage, so I was kind of back and forth on this, and maybe the pressure getting to all of these 5 guys, their first ever major appearance, a great deep run, but they kind of let this series go the last 2 maps. Unfortunately, Nemiga are now out. And then very lastly for all of you guys, the best series of the entire day, my freaking goodness, buckle up, okay? There's going to be a lot of highlights throughout this, and after map 1, I thought this series was over. Going into this series, if I'm being honest, I'm going to cheer for Team Liquid over MOUZ. I have to, right? But I like both teams here. Neither of these teams should probably be in the 0-2 bracket, especially should not be here for MOUZ. And we open up map 1, NAF goes 4-16, and MOUZ really turned this on. It didn't look close. Like after map 1, everybody thought that this was going to be a swift 2-0, if not a 2-1. MOUZ is going to eliminate Liquid. It was really tough to watch map 1. Liquid was just all sorts of out of it. No cohesion, did not look good.
Liquid now only starting to peel back, but as they do so, it's just going to be this emphasis on A where Brolin's doing his own thing.
Just totally.
Completely alone.
This is what Liquid should have done with their long player when they did these setups.
Yes, sir. Dead on.
They got him to B. No
and now
resistance.
That sinking feeling in the guts of Team Liquid because they understand that that B site is gone. And Nertz is floating around. He's not letting off the possibility of Brolin, and now that's an extra AK-47 at least for the retake. He can hand that off considering he's down on 12 health, but this is a mandatory retake demanded of Liquid in a site they have had no control of, in a map that for the most part they had no control of. A bombarded B site that let them down one too many times. They will get through the doorway off the flash, so now a retake is well on. And unfortunately for Ultimate, even with some positioning in sight, there is...
Which is the exact opposite of what we saw in map 2. A very clean nuke run. I believe they also had a 3v5 in there too to kind of solidify this. They go 13-4 on nuke. After bouncing back from a map 1, and NAF was still kind of quiet, but the way they bounced back and almost perfected nuke, incredible. I did not see that coming. And we go to a map 3, and when I say buckle up for highlights, I was recording this game for like 2.5 hours, okay? It was incredible, this map. Going to Mirage.
Which is just a head-scratching, mind-boggling change of events in this 0-2 matchup. Because after Dust 2, it could not have felt more flat for North America's last hope.
As Shuhei opens up this game, we should have known it was going to be a good game. When it opened up round 1, Shuhei almost hitting a 1v3. Not quite. And this round actually could have changed the entire game. You never know.
To shoot at, but nothing too much of a commitment here from Liquid. Soon the smoke fades, and when it does, Torji and Spinks come out with headshots each. Bench player trying to keep himself down. Nap, this is a big round for you, but he's on the reload. Shuhei's got to now bail them out again, and as he peels Spinks off of it, it's a Torji defuse attempt. The knife is out, a second left. He gets him off, but the defuse comes through in milliseconds.
And then Liquid go down 1-8, and then they bring it back 9-9, and eventually they have a chance to end this game. They can't quite close it, and we go to overtime. And you're just thinking, oh, overtime, right? No, we're just getting started.
The round with more pressure than any other. He can't afford to go down with nothing, so he'll get the better of the entry and finds that wrap back around a classic NAF moment at a critical moment as well. And as Nertz looks deep into the bomb site, there's that contact over towards bench. You've got Shuhei waiting for a chance, but hands no longer busy. Bomb planted, quick headshot. They've got their teeth sunk deep into B, despite NAF's best efforts. 30 kills on Ultimate's scoreboard. He will charge that off into the pack, and at that moment, MOUZ bounce back. It is nothing but a ruse.
And this whole time, by the way, Ultimate is going absolutely nuts. And eventually, Liquid have a chance to win this game, and they blow a 3v5, a 5v3, I should say, to force a second overtime. Liquid blew a 5v3, and they could have won this series. Does that sound familiar?
6 consecutive playoffs throughout this season for MOUZ, all while Shuhei had to watch from home, and they will continue to fight for it at the major. Because in the blink of an eye, Team Liquid's hope of closing in the first overtime disappears. You had an open sight, and now all Nertz needs to do is kill the last 2. But
then in round 34, Ultimate was going nuts. He had a 3K there, and again was looking insane.
With nothing, fast Palace pop. They're going to try to just barrel down into it. And Ultimate, even though he's low health, will still continue to make them struggle.
No way he hit that.
That is a gnarly repeat into his counterpart. You want it? Come get it. Ultimate finally dropped at the hands of Spinks, who is the only player to surpass that 30 kill count barring Ultimate, sitting pretty 42 kills and 3 of them here in this round. This critical moment to get that 18th. And as they cross that open road, they look for their plant, the recovery in full effect. Twist pushes out, and MOUZ still.
At the end of the day, it just was not good enough as Team Liquid fall in triple overtime, and MOUZ, as expected, do stay alive in a series that never should have been this close. And I'm a little sad right now because I just watched the result, But it is what it is. Congrats to MOUZ. They held on. The resilience. Also got to give a shout to Torzy. If you guys watch this series, there were so many times where MOUZ was down and out, and it was Torzy yelling to his boys, hey, keep communicating, keep vocal, keep up, guys. And I do think that's a difference maker on a team where you look on the opposite side, and yes, they had momentum, and Liquid at times were boisterous. I don't think all the players at times were receptive of that boisterousness. And I don't want to point fingers, but it was so notable in the broadcast how quiet NAF was. It made me want to ask, like, through the screen, are you okay? Like, he's always been Stonewall. He's always been a quiet figure. He's a great player and was a bit quiet. He was quiet today. Did not perform to what you would hope out of a NAF, especially at a major. But he was so quiet and so non-responsive. Like, I was wondering if everything's okay in the Liquid camp. I don't know what it was. It just feels like something is off, and maybe that's just me speculating through the screen. But yeah, oh man, I'm sorry guys. I'm a fan of both teams, but it just zaps you when you watch for 8 hours and then a team that I want them both to go through. Obviously, I cheer for a lot of teams out there, but it just zaps your energy when you're rooting for the comeback and then it just gets taken away. But hey, to end the day though, a great, amazing amount of series, a lot of lopsided series, don't get me wrong, but some amazing back and forth between a few teams out there. And we now have our first teams going through to playoffs. It should be Spirit and it will be Furia to join them going through 3-0, which Furia, a huge surprise. Spirit, certainly not. What do you guys think of this major so far? And there was no sponsored segment for this video, so that's your reminder to subscribe and leave a comment down below. I appreciate you guys. Till next time, please take care of yourselves. I'll see you back here tomorrow with another major day recap. All right, take care, y'all. And it just ended. I was recording during the series because the series was going three plus hours. I like both teams, but man, that sucks, dude. To go 8-1 to that, bro.